Hello everyone, it's Persona user Mike again. I thought I would send a video out to everyone who has a Vita, PSP, or a PlayStation 3 still and might be overlooking a few rare gems that they might have either in their download list already that are delisted, or games that are available but physically only and they're very expensive. So it might you could save some money by buying it off the store, or more importantly, ones that will no longer be available forever. So I'm going to show here a list of some that I've found, that I've discovered here. So notably things like PlayStation 1 games that are expensive physically, like Symphony of the Night, Tron Bonne, Blood Omen. These types of games will be cheaper to buy digital here. You can have it on your Vita, your PSP, or your PS3 for about like $10 Canadian roughly. So that's pretty cheap. Some of them are even $5. Tomba #1 is also very expensive physically. So there's a list of those games here. So that's just a few examples. Some examples of delisted already titles include Turtles in Time. There was a top-down thumbstick shooter, Voltron, that was very short-lived, also delisted. And the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 digitally was also delisted. So there's a couple of delisted ones you may have in your download list that you can go and grab them up again. Now those will still be available even after the closure, but I thought I'd bring it up while we're on the topic. And as for the ones that are no longer going to be available, some of them are PS3 digital only. They never had a physical copy and were never sent to PS4. That would be like the Blue Toad Murder Files, the Death Spanks, the Spank 1, 2, and 3, titles like that. They're going to be no longer available. So as long as you purchase them and they're in your purchase list before that date, you should be fine. Now, there's not a lot of, AAA noticeable great ones, because if there were, they would have been already a disc copy or sent to PS4. But if you have nostalgia for some of those titles, as I do, then you might want to grab them up. And also there's some very important PSP Vita only titles that were overlooked a lot. So there's like Murasama Rebirth, and then there's Ys 7, and there's Tales of Hearts R. These are games that, of course, with the PSP modding scene, you could probably mod it, but if you are not into the modding scene, you don't want that, then now's a chance to grab them. And they're for the Vita. The Murasama Rebirth is a Vita only, by the way, and it was digital only, so you will have, that's one that I would recommend as well. So yeah, my full list, as you can see here, but I just thought I'd mention a few very rare ones that might want to point out. And one final note, DLC from the PS3 will also not be available, and that is important if you happen to later on buy a disc copy of, say, Drakengard 3, and then you notice there's all these chapters of DLC, kind of like Ashura's Wrath as well. They have a bunch of DLC chapters. Those DLC won't be available, so that is extremely important. Please take note of that. Let's say a year from now, you hear about Ashura's Wrath and you're like, oh well, I'd like to play this game. You buy it, those chapters are no longer available for you to buy. So just here's a few that I've noticed, and I thought I'd mention to you, because these are some of the ones that I personally had to go and look for. But you can post in the comments some I've missed, some that you maybe have done as well, so others can see that as well. So just helping everyone out here, as Sony's giving us some timeline at least, to at least sweeten the sting, I guess you could say. We all knew it was coming eventually, and it's too bad that they got to do it, but hopefully things change with them in the future and they appreciate their old library as much as the fans do someday. But for now, stay safe, and thank you for watching.